Hi, horse racing enthusiasts. This is John, and we made it to Derby week. It's Sunday, the before the Derby, and we just ran final workouts over the weekend. So if you happen to be looking at Twitter and all that, you can see all the horses run their 6 furlongs, their training runs. A lot of them look good, so it's going to be should be an interesting race. What I want to do for you is lay out what the week will look like from our side. So today I want to go through sort of who I see are the top 10. Now this is before the drawing of the post positions, which is such a key element of this. And then what we want to do is a video every day this week leading up to, and finally sort of culminating in the picks that we may have, and what is the best way to sort of make money on this. Now, you could just go out there and bet on Forte to win, and maybe he's the most likely to win, but you're not going to really make any money. So you're risking your money. So what's the point? Let's watch the race and enjoy it. That's my first thing. Second is, if you followed a couple of the earlier sort of tapes, you saw that I had a couple of after a successful weekend of gambling, I went out and bet two future bets on horses, like $20 to win on 2 horses, and I should say right now, those 2 haven't made it, right? So I lost that money. So really it puts into question. I don't think I've ever had a futures bet that actually, made it to sort of to the actual Kentucky Derby. The best case scenario I had was a 50-1 ticket on the favorite going into Derby, and the morning of the Derby, he was scratched. So much for that. So I'm questioning whether we're going to do that again. So go through the top 10 right now, give you a little sense of who I think are the top 10. That may change based upon a couple of things. Injuries. We already had a horse breakdown and not in the Derby, and unfortunately was euthanized, and others have stepped up. So hopefully we don't have anything of that drastic nature. But there could be horses that say, we're not working out too well. It could be a horse that spikes a temperature, which is completely normal, right? Part of just the evolution. And we'll see what happens. So again, this is the top 10 for today. And we'll go from there. Not really in particular order, but I mean generally in an order. So first I would say Forte. 4-time Grade 1 winner of the Florida Derby, winner of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Hasn't done anything wrong. All he's done is gone out even after a little bit of a rest and a layoff, he's won, right? So Forte, you can't take him out of the number 1 spot. I would say there is some questions about in my mind, whether he really wants the distance. But we'll find out. We'll find out. So, but he is number 1. I mean, he showed some heart in that Florida Derby. Bad break. Mage was on the lead, and he got passed by Mage in the turn. So I think that he's a quality horse. Tapit Trice. I've seen Mages. I've seen Forte a couple of times now. I've seen Tapit Trice a couple of times. Once as an undercard at Gulfstream, and once at Tampa Bay winning the Tampa Bay Derby. Tapit Trice is a legitimate horse. Now the issue with him is he going to break Is he going to break, right? When you run against in a Grade 2 or as in the Tampa Bay Derby or other races, you can break poorly because you're running against the lower quality horses. But in the Kentucky Derby, you're in it with big horses and heavy duty horses. Okay, so there you go. Tapit Trice though, turn of foot looks great. He looks like a legitimate contender. Practical Moves. West Coast horse has stayed out on the West Coast, has done nothing but win. Has a great turn of foot. I think it's Into Mischief, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Practical Joke, and then Into Mischief, right? Quality sire, both of them. I would say good horse. He should be in the top 10 list. So that's number 3. Number 4, I'm going to put Mage. This is Mage's 4th race. And, he's trying to do what Justified did. And again, he was on the undercard at early on at Gulfstream. Saw him in the Holy Bull, I believe it was, and then saw him in the Florida Derby. Went off to win another race. So, he's a legitimate horse, Mage. But no, he came in second in the Florida Derby. He hasn't run since. But is it too much in a too concentrated period of time? I came out of the Florida Derby thinking he had the best race. Think about it. Running against a 3-time Grade 1 winner, the reigning champion, juvenile champion, in Mage, his first Grade 1 race, and he took it to like the finish line and lost. He doesn't have the experience that Forte has, but he definitely has the skill. And if it's not now, it'll probably be later in the summer in the Traverse or something like that. But you're going to hear a lot from Mage. Okay, number 5. Here's my whisper, right? Confidence Game. I really have a lot of faith in Confidence Game. I think with the current rate, I hopefully he's not the wise guy horse because I like him. I think right now he's like 40 to 50 to 1. What you have in Confidence Game is very interesting. You have a Candy Ride sire with a Bernardini out of a Bernardini mare. You got the pedigree right there, right, to be turf or dirt. Right? He's run really well in the dirt. He won the Rebel Stakes at Oaklawn Park. That was in the mud, but I think he has. Look at his stride. I watched him work out yesterday. He's got the largest stride of everyone there, including Forte, in my opinion. Now, it wasn't on track, so I didn't see it on track, but I'm looking at camera angles and all that stuff. There's one thing I want to say about him. DeSormo is the trainer, and they did something interesting. His last race was the Rebel, which was in February. Now, it's almost the reverse of what we saw in Mage, in that he's coming in ready to go. He's on fire. They worked him out for a 1 mile workout, right? I think it was last week. That is old school training right there. Some of the old trainers used to fire up a horse with a 1 mile training. Now all you really see are 4 furlongs, 6 furlongs, and then a jog out or a breeze out. But a 1 mile trainer, that tells me that he knows he has something. He knew he had to get a work in, and he's saving him for the race. So they gave him a little mile work, and then they jogged out for another half a furlong. So number 5, Confidence Game. You'll hear more about him during the week. Number 6, Angel Empire has done nothing wrong. Cox horse, Classic Empire. I love the sire. There's more to come on him. I think he has a chance. He definitely has a chance. 7, this is the Japanese contingent. Now, I don't know much about the Japanese contingents other than they're getting a lot of publicity right now. The Japanese have done an incredible job with their breeding and setting up their industry for growth in the future. And I don't know if everyone realizes, excuse me, but California Chrome is breeding in Japan. I just mentioned, I thought it was Classic Empire, but maybe it was his sire. It was in Japan for all this time. So Derma Sotogake is the name of this horse. Won the 100-point race to come into the Kentucky Derby. Excuse me. So he looks like a legitimate contender. I put him in there because I don't really know. The Japanese horses, when they come over, haven't always fared very well. But at some point, all this good breeding and all this effort is going to translate into some sort of win. I don't know if it's this time around. We'll talk more about it later in the week. If you watched a couple of the other other videos, I looked for ways to keep 2 fills out of my top list. And I said the horse is always there. Never really knocking my socks off, but always there. And I said I can't take him out. I think it was the top 10, top 20, whatever it was. Again, he's right here. 2 fills at the 8. Now, he won his last race. Looked very impressive doing it. There's the Jeff Ruby Stakes out in, I think, Sunland Park. And the only caveat on that, it was on all-purpose weather track. So this is going to be on dirt. We'll see. But I think you have to keep him in there. That's number 8. Number 9, Verifying, West Coast horse. We ran in the bluegrass, right? Because, sorry, I got that wrong. Sorry. A Cox horse, trained by Cox. Justify is the sire. Keeneland, another one of those horses light on the works. I'm going to look at him a little bit more during the week. And I think he has a lot of positive attributes, a lot of good turn of foot. Number 9 may be a little too high. We'll see. 10, King's Barn. Long shot horse, Uncle Mo, LA Derby win. I think he has a chance to be there. I think that LA Derby race was a good race. So that's my top 10 right there. Now, I think that might change. There are others that we want to consider. Mandarin Hero, Skinner, because of the horse, Keen Ice horse that was euthanized. Skinner was welcomed into the race, so there's a lot of traffic on him, and then Rocket Can as well. I think we may see some movement with those 3 horses. I think it's very interesting right here. What I'm going to do is obviously a win bet. I'm not going to bet on anything, maybe a long shot and win bet. I think that might be the way to go. And doing a win bet on on some of these favorite horses is not going to really get you anywhere. But what might get you somewhere is doing a trifecta box. So if you did a 4-horse trifecta box for $12, you include a couple of these long shots in there. Like, so let's say you did a Forte, a Tapit Trice, a Practical Moves, and then threw in Confidence Game or Verifying or 2 fills to kind of fill the undercard. That's all you need is one of those to come in to say, well, first, second, or third, and you're going to have a good try ticket. So I'm going to be thinking in terms of that, maybe some pick 4, pick 5s with the undercard. But that's really what I'm looking at. That's the top. It may change based upon what we read, but it's an exciting time. We'll come back tomorrow. I think they draw tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, but we'll come back tomorrow with additional thoughts on the race, maybe starting to make an understanding as far as what type of wagering we might be doing, and then we'll go from there. But Horse Racing Enthusiast, exciting week. Look forward to speaking to you several times during the week. If you like this, like the video, and subscribe. Send it to others. This is the time to build the readership, and we're on the frontiers of the rest of the season as well. Coming up onto Saratoga, so we're more active for sure. So, all right. Well, look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Bye.